is overtime here at Old Favorite Friday, and we are continuing the conversation about a old favorite beer called Old Speckled Hen. And this beer is, first and foremost, this beer is beautiful. I mean, I don't know if you can really see the clarity, the richness of that amber color that's coming through in this glass, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous beer. And if we're going on looks alone, it's one of the best beers that you're ever gonna find out there. And when this beer comes in its bottle, it actually is served in a clear bottle, and it really shows that beautiful color off. I actually picked up the Nitro cans of Old Speckled Hen. I am not a big fan of Nitro beers in the first place. Joel is on the wrong side of this conversation, where he loves Nitro beers, where I like carbonation. I like prickly, aggressive carbonation in my beers. But this is a really delicious version of this beer. This is the first time having the Nitro version, but I had the Old Speckled Hen many times throughout the years. Always loved the beer, but you're having it for the first time, and what do you think?
Yeah, first time, period. Not carbonated, not nitro. First time, totally. I really enjoy it. I know you're not a fan of nitro beers. For me to try this English pale for the first time and have some of that hop character smoothed out by the nitro and come across a bit creamier, it's really nice to me. It's very approachable. Like you said, it looks beautiful. I mean, I poured this thing a few minutes ago. This finger thick head will not quit, and it's just terrific.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about this beer. The first time I tried it, I was kind of really getting into craft beer for the first time, and I was taken aback by the bitterness. And there's this like really nice toffee flavor that's in there, the caramel toffee, and then it was kind of juxtaposed by the bitterness, and it kind of took me aback when I tried this for the first time in the mid-2000s or whatever it was, because I had not had a beer like that before. And then when I revisited it later on, I was like, wow, this is a really, really good beer, really well-rounded. It's got a nice hot profile to go around, along with the malt profile, which we weren't seeing a lot, in my opinion, in craft beer at that time. And you're right, the nitro version mellows out the hops totally. Yeah. Now, they're still there. There's still a nice hot presence there, but it does make this thing so creamy and velvety with all that big caramel flavor.
Yeah, I love that toffee aspect to it. I think it plays really well in this version with the nitro. I don't know what it would be like. Well, obviously a little bit more bitter, but to me it's just so well balanced. I mean, I really enjoy it. It's like crisp, but it's also smooth and creamy, very light in body while also kind of full from being on nitro. I mean, I dig it a lot. This is a real surprise to me.
So this beer is listed on the can as being an English pale ale. Right. I've also seen it listed as an ESB. Yeah. I've seen it listed as like 3 different things. Now, I think the best source of information is going to be the can, right? The people who make the beer are going to tell you what style it is. But with other pale ales, I mean, we're used to much paler beers being classic style pale ales. Is this just a distinctive version of this? Have you had a lot of other pale ales with this color, with this kind of toffee and caramel flavor?
No, it's definitely a throwback to like maybe 10 years or so ago in American craft beer, where you'd find some darker malts, some more caramel and toffee-like character in that malt backbone, as they would call it, along with the hops. But this is something that you don't really see very often, at least not in America.
It's very unique. I think it was unique. I thought it was unique the first time I had it. Whether or not there are more beers like that, it was more indicative of the time, but it certainly is a very unique beer right now. My big question to you is, Ralph detests caramel malt. Do you think he would be on board with this beer because of how complex and how good it is?
Well, you're right on that, but Ralph is also kind of a stickler for tradition, and
yeah, that's true.
He's definitely a mad scientist and a great artist when it comes to the hops, but at the same time, he also likes to kind of color within the lines a little bit and keep things as they should be. And when he does kind of delve outside those lines, it's done well. So I think he would dig it. I know he has a respect for English and Belgian beers and things like that. So I think he would be into this.
Well, this was brewed way back for the first time, I should say, back in 1979. So it definitely fits the term Old Favorite Friday. It is widely available. I found this at Total Wine & More in South Florida here. But at classic beer stores, you're going to be able to pick this beer up, hopefully. So if you haven't had this one, or you haven't had it in a long time, because maybe you had it for the first time way back like I did with my journey into craft beer, revisit it. Because if you like malty beers, if you like beers with a nice classic hop presence, those old world hops, and if you like creamy, ridiculously velvety beers, do yourself a favor and pick up the nitro beer. I still like the classic better, I'm not gonna lie, but this is freaking delicious. I'm really enjoying it.
I'm intrigued by it, and I definitely want to try the regular version now that I've had this. Although I have to imagine I'm going to like this a little bit more, just because I'm kind of worn out by hops lately. It just seems like everything is hopped to the nth degree lately. And I mean, look at this lacing. Come on. I mean, are you kidding me?
It's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Beautiful beer, tasty beer. Please go try it out, and please click around on our YouTube channel and give us a like, give us a follow, and tell us what beers we should be drinking in the future for Old Favorite Friday. We'll see you again next week. Cheers.
Cheers.